So I'm back to talk to you about Union SG, Newcastle's Champions League fixture for Wednesday at 5:45. While I feel they might not be the weakest fixture that we thought they were in our lineup, and a little recap of some of the stuff in the Arsenal game. Let's get into it. So first off, I want to touch on a few things with you about the Arsenal game. Realistically, having looked at it again and having watched the game back, Arsenal probably deserved to come out with the win. And I felt that in my match preview. I did say that I thought this one might slip away from us, and we're not quite there, and we've not quite gelled. Probably not quite ready for this tie. Had this tie come in 6 weeks' time, I feel we'd be in a much better position. But the key things that I thought we lost the game from weren't necessarily down to how we defended the game, how combative we were, or Nick Pope just having 5 worldies in the first half. I actually feel we lost the game from our attack. And a lot of people are putting that on Nick Voltemade. And I don't think it is Nick Voltemade. I don't think you can label him as being the same centre forward as Isak was. Now, he's great with his feet. He's great with his movement. He's, I would say, better in the air than Isak. But he's come from a completely different league. And the service that we've been giving him in the first 3 games that he's played in the Premier League, I'm surprised he's managed to get 2 goals, because the service has been awful. And I feel like it's actually our wingers that are letting us down rather than our forward and the lack of Johan Wissa. I feel like Anthony Gordon has just gone missing at the start of this season. The only game he looked up for was the Liverpool game until he got sent off. I feel that Jacob Murphy didn't have the greatest game against Arsenal. I felt that Harvey Barnes hasn't really turned up this year. Alanga, while he showed his speed, he hasn't really delivered on that final product. And I feel like they're all missing that final product of delivery or service to Voltemade. Now, he's not the player at the moment who is going to be able to high press with the intensity that we've shown all through the last 2-3 seasons. He is not that forward. And certainly 3 weeks into his Newcastle career, he still needs time to get his fitness up, develop relationships within the team, and learn our style of play. So I feel that certain people online may be overcritical of his performances. I actually think he's played really well. Aside from that, the refereeing yesterday. Now, I've seen a lot of things online, people online, even Sky Sports with Ref Watch and whatever, saying that they still believe that initial penalty decision with Gyökeres going past Nick Pope is a penalty. Now, anywhere else on the field, if you win the ball and the player gets taken afterwards, it's not a foul. It's not a foul at all. The only reason we're questioning it is because it's a penalty. And I don't want to be that person, but I do feel this is a situation where Arsenal have a chance to close the gap at the top of the Premier League, having seen Liverpool lost. Then there's nothing better for TV revenue than having a close title race, or a bit of controversy at the top. It keeps people talking about the Premier League. That is part and parcel of the Premier League. We've seen terrible decisions given all year round. But this one, I genuinely feel Nick Pope touches the ball, he plants his foot, Gyökeres, as soon as he sees the leg come out, goes into Nick Pope, and the still I'll show you, which is the still that makes me believe it's not a penalty, and I've seen enough people throw themselves to the ground in all the years I've watched football. The key part is that any player who tries to dive or simulate, they throw their hands in the air and they put their feet together. And I feel like if Gyökeres had gone down normally, there probably would have been a bigger shout for this to be a penalty. And whilst the referee makes the on-field call, they send him to to the monitor because of the way that Gyökeres goes down. So aside from that, which I didn't think was a penalty, the same, I don't think the Newcastle one was a penalty. If it comes off, I think it was Timber's leg, if it comes off his leg before it hits his arm, fair enough. Played off the body onto the arm. We saw it with Tino Livramento and PSG when the last time we were in the Champions League. We had the penalty given against us. I don't agree with it. If it hits the player's body, goes onto his arm, not a penalty. No problem with that. What I do have a problem with is if I watch any game in the Premier League and you stop an attack without going for the ball, it's a yellow card. Now, I watched Everton get booked for taking a free kick too quickly the other week. But in this game, Bukayo Saka puts his leg out behind him after he sees Anthony Gordon push the ball past him. Brings him down without even facing play. No yellow. Saliba is a mile off winning that header. He's not even jumped really off the floor. I'll put the graphic up. Catches Tino Livramento. Not a yellow. Miles Lewis-Skelly pulls down Alanga in the last few minutes off the ball when we are breaking. No yellow card. And most of all, Gabriel punching Nick Voltemade in the face or elbow, whichever you like to call it. I'll post up the graphic. The same thing. If Nick Voltemade goes to ground and holds his face in that moment, VAR look at it, and there's no way, absolutely no way, that VAR don't send the ref to the monitor and say that's a red card. So this is the same Gabriel who 10 minutes earlier was diving to the floor because he felt he'd been pushed 2 hands in the back, so he said. Again, I'll post the picture. Not a chance. So there was definitely some gamesmanship. And while Arsenal, I do feel, probably deserved overall to get something out of the game, I don't feel Newcastle deserved to lose. I think probably on merit, a 1-1 would have been a fair result, but it is what it is and we move on. So as far as Union SG are concerned, and while I felt when the draw came out, Union SG would probably be our easiest fixture, having looked at their stats for this season, they have 9 games in their Belgian Pro League. They are top of the league. They have 7 wins and 2 draws. They have scored 19 goals and only conceded 4. Now, it's a different league, different standard of football. I'm sure plenty of people will tell me the Belgian Pro League is nothing like the Premier League. So far this season, they have gone 10 games unbeaten. And they haven't faced a team that have actually come close to doing them. They're 5 points clear at the top of their league. And I think they could be, they're at home. I think they could be a real challenge for us. And there's part of this that makes me a little nervy as to how this game is going to go, because I feel we really need to pick up some points, not only in the Champions League, but we need to build some momentum in the Premier League. And a win now, straight off the back of the Arsenal loss, would be the best thing we could have. But I do feel this game could be more challenging than we have it down for. So having looked at their setup, it's an unusual lineup, but they play a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-1-2, which is unusual for most teams to see 2 guys playing up top. But I feel that this could be a tricky one due to the fact that the way we line up, normally we overload the wings or overload the centre midfield. And I don't think we're going to be able to do that in this tie. I think we're really going to struggle to play through the middle. And I think if they come back and sit in some sort of low block, we're going to really struggle to play through the wings. They are a very well-organised team. So this one will be either a tactical standoff or it will be down to who wants it more. And I have to say, on form, 10 games unbeaten, they're playing at home. I have this down kind of pegged as we may struggle with Union SG and they may take some points here, which will be a real disappointment for us. We have to be really up for it. And as we all know, our away form isn't great. Hopefully, I'll be able to come out on Wednesday night and give some good news and say that I was completely wrong. We steamrolled Union SG and we're a completely different class. But we'll wait and see. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.